what's going on, everybody? And what's going on? I just want to welcome our guest.
Jason Roberts.
Buddy, welcome here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. I met Jason through a few mutual friends. I actually met him at the last Chamber of Commerce networking event. He's in business himself, so we're excited to have you, bro. My channel, is all about having hardworking, blue collar, people that want to get to the next level, entrepreneurs here. And, I'm all about networking and vibing and just talking business because that's my character and I obviously love it, bro.
Same here.
So Jason, he lives in...
I'm from Leominster.
From Leominster,
Yep.
Has a shop in Leominster, actually super close. I didn't even know how big his shop is. I'll have to give you a tour after of mine downstairs.
Love to see it.
Before you head out, the containers and whatnot. Did you actually see that camera shoot that I did yesterday?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yes, I had a photographer come by. She actually came from Vermont.
Really?
Yeah, my sister found her on Leominster Unite, but she came from Vermont. Really good priced. Frickin' had my clips all edited pretty much and got it right back to me the next day.
That's awesome.
And it was awesome.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was so funny. All the people beeping and shit driving by.
Hey, that's free advertising right there.
I have so many picture days here, my guys can't keep up.
That's good.
Hey,
that's good.
Yeah, freaking Hollywood guys. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions, man. Hey, I'm kind of getting to know you myself, and then also I want the podcast to obviously, get all this.
Yep.
Is this your first podcast?
It is.
Hell yeah.
It is.
So, nothing crazy here, man. It's kind of a normal conversation.
Right.
So your name's Jason Roberts, of
Yep.
course, and you said you're from Leominster.
Yep.
Did you go to school in Leominster?
Yes, I did. 2015.
Oh, nice.
Graduated CT carpentry.
Okay.
That's how I actually met Joe Brulon.
At the Vogue, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right
Yep.
on. I actually did a little speaking in front of the plumbing kids one time,
Yep.
but completely failed. They liked it, but I wasn't too happy.
Yeah. I still have some good connections down there, so.
Yeah, no, the teachers were wicked cool, and they were cool that they had me as a guest.
Yeah.
But-
They love bringing outside people in to explain more about the trades and
Oh, exactly.
getting people into the trades. And you don't have to go to college to make a good living. You can go into the trades, and that's what they drive down there. So it's nice to see small businesses going in there to drive and explain that to people even more.
No, exactly. You obviously took carpentry, you said.
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
So I own Jason Roberts Property Maintenance here in Leominster. We do anything from landscaping to snow removal and anything in between.
Hell yeah. You have a lot of employees, or?
It's myself, Marty, who pretty much can run the show if I'm not there, and then Justin, who's been with me since pretty much day one, since I really started to grow the business in 2020.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
You guys just kind of work in town? You go anywhere?
We go from Leominster, Fitchburg, Gardner, and pretty much anywhere people are willing. We bid out some jobs in Lexington. We've gone to Concord for work. I've gone to Haverhill for work. So it's all over. Wherever we're needed, we'll go.
No, exactly. I'm sure you'll probably be picking up with a bunch of work now with all the spring cleanups.
We've gotten hammered within the past week of stuff, but the weather today is not cooperating.
You got a vacuum truck?
Leaf vac?
Yeah.
We do. We only set that up in the fall.
Oh, okay.
We only set that up
So
in the fall.
yeah, it's not too much with...
No, we pretty
Obviously
much
the
do it
spring.
all by hand in the spring because we try to get our customers to do a fall cleanup. It makes our life easier in the springtime when we go to do their spring cleanup. But that only goes on the truck in the fall.
Hell yeah.
So it's on for about 6 weeks in the fall. And we do a lot of, we offer curbside pickup.
What did you think of the winter this year?
The winter was a little January was a good month. But then February was we killed it in January. February was really slow, and then March, that last storm definitely helped us. It was a good way to end the season.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Are you doing commercial accounts? Are you doing driveways, residential?
So we started with 1 or 2 commercial a couple of years ago. Last year was our first year salting,
Yeah.
and we picked up, we were doing about 10 commercial last year. And then this following, the 23-24 snow, we were doing about 20 commercial. So our commercial industry is growing very rapidly.
Yeah.
And we've met some really good people, and they depend on us to do it. And we're on top of stuff very, very closely, especially when it comes to inclement weather.
Oh, 100%. No, you have to be. You're obviously the one owner.
I am the sole owner. Yep.
Right on, right on. And there's obviously a lot more to the business than just doing the physical labor.
People don't realize it. People don't
They
realize
never
it.
do. They say, "Can you break this quote down?"
I had someone
It's
the
like-
other day, I broke it down and I charged them to dispose of yard waste, and she goes, "That's included in the job, can you get rid of that cost?"
Hey.
I said, "Okay, then the cleanup is gonna be $280 because that $30 for me to get rid of yard waste has gotta go somewhere and it's not coming to me."
Dude, they don't never realize like the truck and just
Fuel costs.
fuel costs.
Fuel
of course,
costs have
like,
gone through the roof.
and like 100%. And then even obviously your bigger equipment,
Yeah.
the maintenance on it,
Yep.
the changes and shit. It's like nothing lasts forever unless you maintain it.
No, we try
Are
to
you
do
big
all.
with maintaining your shit?
Yes.
I can't stand seeing somebody that doesn't, It's like, listen, once you have a bad habit, don't continue that bad habit. And if you go have anyone working for you,
Yeah.
if they start seeing that you don't care,
Then
right
that's
away,
how your
their
stuff is
first
gonna end up.
responsibility should be, I want you to grease up everything, every single Tuesday
Yep.
or every other.
Yep.
Maybe doing an oil change on something or just top off the fluids.
Yep.
Whatever.
We do all pretty much our own maintenance in house.
Yeah.
We do it all ourselves.
Does those 3 employees, do they have like big responsibilities?
Marty does. Justin is a little bit more just in the field, but if I needed for him to do something, he would definitely jump right in.
Right.
But we do everything in house. I actually got a car lift last year, and
Nice.
that was a game changer for everything.
Oh, in your shop?
For all to
Oh, yeah.
maintain
Oh,
all
exactly.
of our trucks. People don't realize it. It's a game changer.
Those things got a lot cheaper too over the years, huh?
I actually got it for free,
Nice.
so I can't complain too much.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, so we just got a lift in. I actually have 2 tenants within my shop.
Yeah.
One's an electrician, so he wired it all up for me.
Hell yeah.
And
Did
then
you, not to cut you off, did you start this company like when you were in high school? Did you have a little landscaping company?
yeah, so freshman year in high school, my grandfather picked me up the Masonic Lodge over in Fitchburg. And he would pick me up from school and we would go mow that after school. And then it just kept growing and growing right out of high school. And then 2018 is when I started to really get into it.
Yeah.
But I was also going to school at the same time. I graduated in 2020. And then since COVID hit, everything just went up and grew right from there. So we've been growing rapidly since 2020.
That's sick.
So
Hell yeah. No, I actually had a little landscape company myself, in high school, and I obviously had to do it at the house, but then my buddies all had stuff.
Yep.
They wanted to make some money. They'd say, "Hey, can you give me a hand?" Whatever,
Yep.
You're freaking raking fall cleanups or dragging leaves till you have freaking blisters in the hands.
yeah, it's definitely not meant for everybody.
No,
It's
but
definitely
obviously
not.
having the different tools, which is the blowers, that freaking leaf vac.
We pull out some of our equipment. I mean,
I
we
did it
have-
all manually,
Yeah, we have some of the. I invest heavily to make sure that we have the top of the line equipment. So when we get to a property, our equipment is dependable. We're not getting to a job site and
You can't be too cheap when it comes to business either.
Yeah, I don't want to show up
I
on
can
a
tell. I
job.
can tell you have nice stuff just based off your truck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to throw that in the edit.
Yeah, no, I strive very much to make sure we have the top of the line equipment. So we get to a job, we don't have junky equipment.
Yeah.
One of my pieces of equipment actually just went into the shop and had $11,000 worth of work done
Holy
for
shit.
the spring.
I have this freaking 6-hour diesel truck, power stroke. Every time that thing goes to the shop, it's fucking $5K.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
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 freaking $1,000. Okay, well, we can swallow that.
yeah. No, I strive to make sure we have top of the line equipment. We show up to a job. I know we get complimented on our dependability and our efficiency, And the reason why we have that dependability and efficiency is because we have top of the line equipment that we depend on day in and day out. We maintain it, and when it comes to the job, we know we can get it done because we have.
It's reliable.
Yeah, we have
Reliability, man, is a beautiful thing.
but you have to maintain it to
You
be.
do. That's why. That's you know. And same thing with my fleet is. People always, there's a lot of guys that didn't want to leave town or go out of this or like. I took any job wherever the fuck it was.
Yep. Yeah.
You know,
I'm starting
if it's 2 hours away, you got to take that one because who knows if you're going to go on the next time.
Yep. That's what I'm starting to learn is there is a market in Leominster, Fitchburg area, but you can travel outside of that area and get even more work. Last year was the first year we started to go to Westminster, and it's only 10-15 minutes up the road.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not bring ourselves up into that market as well and build that relationship with people up there as well?
No, 100%. Did you obviously, like when you were raised, did you always, be pretty hands-on?
Yeah, I was always.
Was your dad hands-on?
Yep.
So what's your parents do?
My mom's a teacher. My dad was in the military, and did repaired the electronics and that kind of stuff.
Right on.
And then my grandfather also, he worked for himself. He was on the highway department. He used to build pallets for Simon Saw.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of learned a lot from everybody.
Yeah. Any brothers and sisters?
I got one brother, he's in the military.
Nice.
He's actually over in Iraq right now.
Oh, wow. Well, so your freaking dad and your brother. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Yeah, and then I have to also include my neighbor Steve. He took me under his wing for a while, and that's honestly where I learned to do a lot of my own repairs.
Oh, I see.
He taught me how
How
to do.
old is he?
He used to be a Worcester firefighter. He's retired. He's about 65, 66, I think.
Yeah.
But I've known him for like 10, 15 years.
It's funny how you freaking click with people and
Yeah.
just time goes by, you know?
Yep.
You
Yeah.
look back at it like, shit.
Yeah, me and him, we were actually talking about this the other day. He used to own a real crappy F-150, and I used to have a 99, and me and him used to be back and forth fixing each other,
Yeah.
helping each other fix his stuff.
No shit.
I remember one year I was on his fuel pump went on his truck, and we were lying on the side of the road fixing his truck, replacing the
That's
fuel
kind of
pump.
like me and my first employee, Casey.
Yep.
You know, we would always, work on each other's shit.
Yep.
Every time I stop by, he's trying to put a crazy sound system in my truck. If I said, hey, I have an issue with this, if I didn't have much time,
Yep.
even if he looked at it for like 2 seconds, it was going to be 2 hours, and I'd show up late to everything.
Yep.
'Cause he wants to rip it apart, and obviously I'm going to do it with him.
Yep.
So it's nuts. Hey, how old are you again?
27.
So do you remember what was at the shop before?
It was a motorcycle show.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep. Yeah, and this building sat abandoned for a long time.
Did you ever buy anything here or check it out? It was called Hillside Motors.
Was it?
Yeah.
It closed.
Did you ever ride over in Monsterland?
No.
No?
No, I was actually just talking to a couple of my buddies about that today. He's like, oh, you want to buy a four-wheeler? I'm like, I would if I had a place to ride. But
Yeah.
there's nowhere around here to ride.
No, exactly.
So, but I don't have time for that. I've got a boat and a jet ski, so that's hopefully
Oh, hell yeah.
that
Where
takes
do you
up.
take that out of?
I would mostly go to Whalum. I've taken it down to Lake Quincy.
Yeah.
I just got the jet ski in October. Too good of a price not to pass up.
Oh, nice. That's man.
So,
Did
I'm
you
only taking that out.
you talk to your brother a lot?
Since he's been gone, I've only talked to him once.
No shit.
So,
That's a freaking badass. What's his job? What's his job?
I couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell me.
Couldn't tell you because he could
Hey,
tell
it's
you.
classified.
He could tell you. I could not tell you a thing.
Yeah.
Because he's very much into it. So.
Right on. Well, we'll get back on the topic here. Anywho, so tell us, I guess, how you separate your personal life from your business.
That's tough.
What do you do?
That's tough. I've got Marty, who's also one of my best friends, and then Tiago. Tiago rents space for me. I've known Tiago since middle school. So it's me, Marty, Tiago, and his girlfriend Trina. They've become a big part of my life, and Trina's actually kind of involved in all of it because who she works with. She's gotten us a lot of business. Me and Tiago. Tiago just went on his own, started his own company, which I kind of kept pushing and nudging. I'm like,
Yeah.
you should go on your own. You should go on your own. So he actually plows for me. So he does his own stuff and then comes and plows for me. So, but it's tough to definitely.
Who was that guy that set up that fishing trip? That was at the.
Oh, that was Sean.
Sean.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
are you affiliated with him at all?
Tiago used to work for Sean.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I figured they were all,
Yeah.
close
Yeah.
circle.
Tiago used to work for Sean, and then he finally, Tiago jumped ship and decided to go.
Is he? How old is he?
Tiago?
No, Sean.
Could not tell you.
Oh, I was gonna say he's not our age.
I have no idea how old he is, but Tiago's 28 and he just finally jumped ship, so he's onto the world of all of us. But it's tough to do the work life.
Yeah.
Definitely
Separate
split.
personal life and work life.
People
Obviously,
don't
you kind
realize
of just said too. You got the boat and you got the jet ski, so that helps.
That helps, and Marty and Tiago finally got me to get my motorcycle permit.
Okay.
So it's kind of like we're trying to.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's toys and hobbies, man. You
Yeah.
know, you need those to
Yeah.
freaking keep going.
Yeah.
It's,
I used to run the business fully out of my parents' house, and then I moved the shop side over to Clinton. I had 1,500 square feet over in Clinton.
Yep.
And then I had the opportunity to move into where I am now, which is over 10,000 square feet for not much more money a month. And from that move from my parents' house to Clinton to where I'm at now, the work and personal life balance has become more separated
Mhm.
because I can keep everything in the office and go home and I don't have to do anything.
Right.
But definitely one of the other biggest things is customers calling you after hours.
Oh.
I actually just got.
You gotta keep it cool and
Yeah.
handle it. You can't just ignore them or hide it.
I try, if they contact me, I have customers who will reach out to me at 6, 7 o'clock on the weekends. I've determined that anytime that happens, I wait until Monday morning to answer them, specifically because I need to work on that balance. And texting somebody at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning is just not for me anymore. It needs to wait until Monday, unless it's in a real dire emergency or we're in the middle of snow.
Of course.
If-
So you're saying before when you started the company, you used to get back to them right away.
Correct.
But now you started to realize, hey, I have to separate it,
Mhm.
and we can wait till the
Correct.
appropriate time because it's not an emergency.
Correct.
But if it is, you would handle it. Right
Correct.
away.
Yep.
Which I can relate. I fucking been there, done that. It's funny that you bring that up because it's deja vu, man.
Yep.
And guess what? I started my business in my spare bedroom.
Yep.
Same thing as kind of you.
Yep. Starting it out of the parents' house.
I see, same thing as you. Is just starting it out of a house, and look what you acquired, man. You went to freaking 2 different shops now,
Yeah.
and look what I acquired.
Yep.
I fucking love it here.
Yeah.
And it just worked out. I got it right at a good time.
Yep. Yeah.
But-
So it's
I know what you mean.
it's tough, but people don't realize that.
But you're still always getting back to people.
Yep.
And you're handling them the best way possible.
Yeah, I try
Yeah.
to get back to everybody within 24 hours. I think that's a fair number of time in between.
Yeah.
So if it's 24 hours, that's when I try to.
Yeah.
But the other thing is if you don't answer the text message right away, then you forget about it. And then it's like you have to remember to text that person back or
100%.
respond to them. I find I like text messages because I can get back to them like whenever and I don't have to hop on a phone call.
Right.
But
So who else? Who helps you scheduling and do some of the
So I just hired on
Office
my
stuff.
sister-in-law. She pretty much handles all our invoicing. She was actually at the office with me until 7:30 last night.
See that's well needed, man.
It's a game changer after the winter.
What I like to do so you don't forget is I know you can always the best thing they say is write things down where I'm big with that.
Yep.
But again, sometimes you can't write it down. You have your phone. So screenshot the text and throw it in a text message for business between you and that office lady.
Yep.
So that and then you pretty much tell her, hey, moving forward, I'm not gonna moving forward. Okay, if you see a screenshot after hours, etc., ignore it. Don't think you have to respond, but just know I'm sitting in there as a reminder.
Yep.
Placeholder.
Yep.
It's fucking meant.
I pretty much handle all the customers. She's more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We work closely with another contractor. If we were using Viasys with them last winter. And this winter we were plowing almost 50 properties.
What are you using for an online like software?
We're using Viasys.
Viasys?
Yep,
Okay.
it's a Canadian based company.
I was gonna say I haven't heard of it.
I've
It's
looked.
kind of like a Jobber, right?
I personally find it better than Jobber. I had Jobber for a little while, and I
Yeah.
thought it was too complex.
You're big with computer stuff?
I'm trying to get more software based, like my invoicing. I prefer email.
Did you play a lot of video games growing up?
No.
No?
No, I was always outside.
Right on.
Hands
Right
on
on.
and stuff. But so we switched over to Viasys this year, specifically for tracking what we're doing with on each site. Last year we were doing paper and pencil, and it just became way too confusing. So we switched over to Viasys this year, and it's a game changer. We can track every single service that we do, and then we can take that and export it into an Excel sheet. And my sister-in-law has, I don't touch the spreadsheet, but we use it. She has everything all broken down. We can track how many services. Surprisingly, this winter between all of our sites, we've done almost 1,000 services,
Right
or
on.
1,000 visits to each site.
Hell yeah.
Between all of our sites. But it definitely was a game changer for me. It's going to be a lot easier to track what we're doing out in the field.
Right.
Because even mowing lawns, if we're mowing 20 lawns in a day,
Before and after photos.
I wouldn't go more for the after photos, but we're gonna put in there like if the lawn doesn't need to be mowed, taking pictures.
What about when you're doing this mowing and stuff? Do you recommend options to your customers?
What do you mean?
So like, life is about options, right, bro?
Yep.
And what I mean is to frickin' run into value stacking your business.
Yep.
To increase your sales.
Yep.
You go into an convenience store.
Yep.
There's 3 size energy drinks. There's 3 size Gatorades.
Yep.
3 size waters, and
Yep.
we like to obviously apply options here. So maybe you could say, hey, this one's this week's deal, but or say, hey, I recommend a irrigation of the lawn. I recommend the fertilizer for this and that.
Yeah, we do look. I look over the property. Like we were just on a job yesterday, and we're installing some mulch. And I'm big with trimming the bushes before we install mulch.
Yeah.
Because people wait for their bushes to grow out. It's kind of like one of those things to me. It's like do it right the first time. Trim the bushes, clean up the
So
mess.
tell us about a little bit. Your everyday accounts, okay, or every week accounts. It's
For mowing.
Do you offer just a price for mowing only, mower weed whack, bush?
Anytime
Spring cleanup, fall cleanup.
yeah,
and then plow
so I'm kind of phased. I'm not really looking to take on any more residential plowing because I'm trying to push my residential plow customers not aside, but I'm only looking for year-round residential plowing. I want to focus more on the commercial, especially with salting. We can make tons of money going out for 2 hours salting than we can spend doing other stuff.
Of course.
But anytime I give them a price for mowing, it always includes mowing, weed whacking, and blowing of the hard surfaces. That's always included in the price.
Right.
But what people don't realize is, I get it a lot, is, ooh, that's expensive, because I try to push people more towards the weekly mowing than the bi-weekly mowing. A lot of people don't realize that weekly mowing, it may seem like a lot, we get to the job, it doesn't need it, we don't do it, we move on to the next.
Yeah.
Bi-weekly lawn mowing is a lot more wear and tear on our equipment. It just clogs everything up and makes our lives harder. So that's why I try to suggest customers go to weekly mowing than bi-weekly mowing.
Right.
But yeah, we try to give people as many options as possible.
No, that's awesome.
So yeah, but we try to, if we get to a job and I notice something, I'll be like, hey, we could do this. And then it's like, you let me know you want to do it or you don't. So that type of deal.
No, exactly. A lot of things, we kind of learn here with our coaching is related to grocery stores and all that.
Yep.
Or just convenience stores on the options. B2, if you go get something at a convenience store compared to going to like BJ's,
Mhm.
you know, buying in bulk, you get more of a deal.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if a customer says, "Hey, I'm going to go with this every week, and it's going to be bushes, weed whack, mow with the fertilizer, etc." You can probably give them a little break on, you know,
Yep.
on this.
Yep.
It's kind of cool, you know.
For sure.
I like to relate it to other businesses, not just plumbing, you know.
Yep.
What's going to be your next goal? Are you big with goals?
Yeah.
You
So, I have to sit down and calculate our numbers. We set a goal for our winter services, so I'm hoping we hit those numbers of what I was hoping for. This year, we're definitely pushing towards advertising, getting our name out there, people knowing who we are, getting to know us. So I just did a complete rebrand of everything. We had Kyle the Careless redeveloped our logo, so we definitely have a new logo out there. I built a brand new website that's out there. We bought a brand new trailer. We lettered all of our trucks up. We wrapped the trailer, and before we didn't have it. We have QR codes on 3 sides of our trailer, so if someone sees us somewhere, they don't have to ask us for a business card. They could go up to, we could just say, hey, scan the QR code here, put a thing in online, and it gets delivered right to our website. We have a contact right on the website.
That's mint.
We built a brand new website this year too.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
We just finished one up too.
Yep.
That's kind of why we needed those pictures.
Yep.
So we could post them on there with, you know, we changed up our brand a little bit.
Yep.
Made it a bit more like bubbly and added some extra colors.
Sounds like we're in the same boat, kind of just rebranding, quote unquote rebranding.
That's okay. It's what catches people's eyes. You know?
We also bought. I also purchased some lawn signs. Same thing with the lawn signs is the QR code. QR code is right on the sign, so if somebody drives by a property that they see our lawn sign, instead of like trying to find out, like call or whatnot, they can just scan that QR code and it drives them right to the website and they can check us out.
That's it.
Of who we really are.
Yeah, and the name's catchy, so
Yep.
they can kind of just remember that name and look it up.
Yep.
They've been big too with not putting your phone number on the sign.
Yep.
Okay, some lady frickin' called this company up because they saw their yard sign. He said, "Hey, what's going on? This is Mrs. Jones. Your number's not on the yard sign, but this." And they're like, "How did you get a hold of us?" She's like, "Oh, online." Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just remembering that thing. You know, looking it up. Everyone's quick to access it nowadays.
Yep. Yep.
So,
yeah. So we.
and if they can't, because they're older, I'm sure they know someone that can. It works out.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, no, we do have some big goals for this year, so I'm hoping that we can reach these goals. I just actually hired 2 more people, so we're really trying to grow and diversify ourselves so that we're kind of a one-stop shop type of thing.
No.
And if we can't do it, we know somebody who can do it. I've got a good carpenter, a good electrician, and now a good plumber. So
Contacts are key.
contacts are key. I would not be where I am if I did not meet the people who have who've jumped out. People don't realize Facebook is a massive tool.
Oh my God, it's
Massive
insane.
tool. I bought my first skid steer in 21, and I bought a pusher with it. That night, I ended up receiving a phone call from one of my good friends that we work very closely together, and we were on the phone for 2 hours, and we work with him very closely when it comes to snow. And we've gotten a lot of compliments, and he's told us we're one of his best subs that he's ever had. But something as simple as that Facebook post, people don't realize that if I didn't make that Facebook post, I would not have driven myself to that person.
Oh yeah.
So that Facebook post basically made me put myself out there for this person to pick up on it. And then that person reached out to me and wants me to be a part of their team as well.
I love Facebook, man.
So I love it too. I actually did some sponsored ads, and I've had 3 or 4 people reach out to me, and he goes, "Can I go anywhere without seeing your name?"
So like, see, that's nothing better. Ever since I wrapped up my vans,
Yep.
you know, I've had these people reach out to me saying twice this week, You know, I met you the other night, and boom, I just saw you the next morning.
Yeah, shout out to
It's-
Todd Taylor for doing both of our lettering.
He does, yeah, exactly.
He's a really good.
100%.
He does
No,
really good.
he's freaking killing it.
Yeah.
He's got a nice big shop too.
Yeah, he does.
That's why I freaking did that raffle, that TV.
Yep.
Because like I'm always sick of telling people I get 95% of business from Facebook.
Yep.
2.5% Instagram.
Yep.
And maybe 2.5% TikTok, but not really, you know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Very little is what I'm saying, and I wanted to do that to get some off both the others.
Yep.
They're all so different in a way.
I've been getting a lot of new customers recently, and I've been asking them, "Hey, how'd you hear about us? How'd you hear about us?"
You do Twitter?
Not for the business. And someone said to me, "Oh, just by Googling you."
Yeah.
So, I mean, Google's a good tool, but I definitely think that Facebook, I mean, there's great pages here in Leominster that I've gotten a lot of work from.
No, exactly.
And meeting some really good people. The past year, I've lost a couple customers. Three of my customers probably have died within the past 7 to 8 months.
Oh shit! Sorry to hear that.
So that's definitely one of them. We got to do one last thing for her. But she found me on Facebook. She told me she had some other quotes come out to and she liked me the best. She knew that what we were doing, she understood and whatnot. So yeah, no, you can really find some really good people out on Facebook that people don't realize. In my opinion, it's one of the biggest tools.
No, 100%. Okay, if you had or got $5 to $10 million, would you still work or would you retire?
110% would still work.
Really?
Yes, I would.
Hell yeah.
I enjoy.
What about 20 million?
Still work.
Let's go.
I enjoy.
And that's kind of what, I kind of knew that about you.
Yeah.
I can see that in people, and that's kind of why I brought you down on my podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate
I
it.
just figured we'd click for that reason because I would do the same shit.
Yeah, I enjoy what I do, who I work with, who I meet. I've met some really good people within the past couple of years. Pretty much all my friends support me and introduce me to other people. So that's definitely one of the biggest things, is getting to know people.
Hell yeah.
And I like, Leominster's a great community. There are some really good people in Leominster.
No, exactly.
And I know a lot of people in Leominster, and I know a lot of the really good people. So no, I like it too much. I don't care. It's not always about the money. I mean, yeah, we're all here for the same reason to get that financial freedom. But there's no doubt that I would continue doing what I'm doing today. If I had that much money, I just wouldn't be in debt.
I hear that.
So
nope, spot on, man. I have to kind of do it to stay busy, to keep me freaking fresh, and I love what I do. I love the people interacting. I love saying, hey, I learned something new today, and even things that happen that you don't want sometimes in your business. It's kind of lessons that'll help you even stronger the next year. After that, what you should buy, what you shouldn't, what you should invest in, what you shouldn't.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, you learn that as you go. Businesses will learn as you go.
Life is too.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, no.
Back when we were talking about like the contacts, are you big with? Are you close with your CPA?
So
Which is your accountant, of course.
So I actually have a CPA out of New York that does all my books, and then I have a local attorney here in actually it's in Fitchburg that my uncle introduced me to when he was still alive, and he does all my taxes. I don't want to get...
See, that's another thing on why you can't break down an invoice sometimes.
Yeah.
Or an estimate.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about those guys.
No, so
those guys ain't cheap.
No, so I try to...
but it's part of the team.
Yeah. So I hired a CPA last year, best thing in the world. I was doing all my own books by myself and bringing stuff to my tax guy and whatnot. But last year I decided to have him do it. The people that I hired is Cycle CPA. They're out of New York, like I said. But they are focused on the landscape industry. And we do quarterly meetings, and when we have our quarterly meetings, they write up a 28-page report of my finances.
Right.
So they break down, so they'll take like the average of rent, utilities, payroll, material cost, all within the industry standard. So you don't get that with just anybody.
Yeah.
I do pay, it's a lot of money per year to do something like that, but to get the information that they provide me with is worth every single penny. Because I don't know any other.
You obviously want to do things the right way.
Yeah.
Legal.
Yep.
Not have an issue with something biting you or.
Yep.
You know.
I
That's
don't.
called like sleeping with one eye open. Whether it's with somebody close or with the government.
Exactly. I've never heard of another CPA that would write a 28-page report of the finances for me, breaking down to the industry standards, because in my opinion, CPAs are just kind of generalized across the board.
Yeah.
They are not specified to one industry or another. So my CPA is 100% for landscapers.
Right.
And then I'm very particular about when it comes to taxes. I want to do taxes right the first time. I don't want to be getting a phone call or a letter in the mail from the IRS saying this is what's happening. I'd rather have somebody local that I can go to, talk face to face, and have my back when it comes to if anything were to ever happen.
You need that.
They're right here in local, and it's not like a Zoom call for somebody that's hours away. It is local. And the other thing that I've noticed is anytime that like we were talking about getting pre-approved for a mortgage, I have had people say, well, how come you have this here and how come you have this here on your tax forms? And then I tell him who does my taxes, and then he's an attorney, and it's like, oh, he's doing it right. So I like everything done right the first time. I'm very particular when it comes to that, so that's why I just stick with somebody local for doing my taxes.
No, 100%. Are you so you're pretty familiar and you're pretty familiar obviously with the whole write-offs and
Yep.
you know the banking and all that. How were you at first starting your business with that? It took a while to know and what to kind of pull from, what to
learn as you
be
go.
cautious.
Learn as you go. Talk to people.
Yeah,
Talk
it's okay.
to people.
It's a write-off. It's a write-off.
Talk
Fuck it.
to
Fuck it.
people. Yeah, you got to definitely know what you can write off and what you can't write off. A lot of people don't realize how much stuff you actually can write off,
Right.
and a lot of people don't know what you can't write off. Such as like when it comes to vehicles, you can't write off the payment, but you can write off the interest, the insurance, the repairs, all that kind of stuff.
No, exactly.
So you really need to know what you can and can't write off, and talk to whoever's doing your taxes or your bookkeeping. Talk to them, ask them questions. I know I have made phone calls over to my accountant and being like, hey, what do you think of this? And he appreciated it because he goes, this is why we're here is you're paying for us to tell you what you should and shouldn't do.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we all do stuff without talking to our accountants, and we just go and do stuff, but that's for a later problem.
No, exactly.
Or use whatever they didn't approve of, or you just go and do it anyways, and then show them that purchase was worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How does your business engage with and give back to the community? Have you ever done any like donations, raffles, sponsorships?
Yep. So we work.
Isn't it awesome to share those?
A lot of people may not know, but we work very closely with Ginny's Helping Hands.
Okay.
My friend
They're a
Brandon.
non-profit.
They are a local nonprofit food pantry. My friend Brandon Robbins runs it.
I might have even. See that right there?
Yep.
I got that from them.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we work very closely.
They hired us for a little break room mop sink.
Okay. Yeah. Upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yep. We worked very closely with them. I noticed a couple of years, no, was it last? It may have been last year. That they were needing new U-boats, which is what they use to move the food from the trucks to the food pantry.
Yeah.
They were using, so the 52 Mechanic Street used to be a plastics factory. United Solutions actually used to be there. And they were actually using some of the stuff, the carts and stuff from United Solutions. That they were getting old, you know, they're squeaking, they're making noise. So last year, when Bed Bath & Beyond were going out of business, I went up there and purchased some new U-boats for them.
Right.
That were much nicer and much needed. I also volunteer my time and my space downstairs because I'm right downstairs from them. If they need storage for like their food, we've stored food down there for them. We help. I go in. Sometimes I try to get my crew in there. Doesn't always happen, but I try. Help set up, distribute food. We also make money donations.
That's
we
it.
just
Hey,
did
if you
one.
ever need help with like those other couple things,
Yep.
feel free to reach out anytime.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause
You know?
we can definitely get more small businesses down there.
Yeah.
But no. So we actually did the floor for them last year. They use us for their snow plowing. So yeah, we do have a very good relationship with Ginny's. We also partner up with
You're part of the chamber now, too.
Chamber of Commerce. Not
Yeah.
yet.
Not
I
yet?
have to do that.
You have to do that.
Yep. But I also sponsor the North Middlesex baseball team.
I see. Oh,
So-
right on. That's sick.
Yeah, one of my customers from day one actually is the head coach out there, and we're sponsoring their right there with him.
Nice.
And we're actually working on a scholarship for people on the baseball team as well.
Oh, right on.
So yeah, we try to be very involved in the community.
North Middlesex.
Yep.
So where is that? What towns?
That's in Townsend.
That's in Townsend.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. So we try to give back as much as we can.
Yeah.
We help out. We try to give back to as many people as we can.
Mhm.
I mean, Jimmy's is one of our biggest connections.
If you
for-
could too, after any context for that donation thing of that baseball thing, what we'd like to get in.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know too many. We wanted to get in with that.
Yep.
But I don't know who to hit up. I don't know if kids,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, one of my good customers.
So if they need any more, you know, freaking.
Yeah, I'll reach out to
Yeah.
him. I'm supposed to actually be going over there this week. I've got a couple projects that they have little things here and there that I got to do for them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, exactly. Well, hey, man. Freaking, I loved hearing the story. Seems like you run a strong show and you know, tight ship, which is a freaking beautiful thing.
Yep.
Clean and organization is freaking, you know,
Yeah.
number one. Where not just again your garage, but your paperwork
Yep.
and just everything, you know.
Yep.
Fast responses.
Yep.
I hope this podcast is gonna get you some, you know, hopefully customers.
Yep.
For you know the spring and fall and.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no problem, bro. And I'll have to we'll talk soon about getting my yard and this place set up. Right now I don't have any grass. Save the blades on your mower.
That's true. That's true.
You know?
Bring out the weed whackers.
But guys, again, check him out. Jason Roberts with the company called.
Jason Roberts Property Maintenance. You can check us out on Facebook, Google, or my website.
Let him.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.